In this video, we're going to look at the alerting tool and how to configure alerts. First, we'll look at the widget. So the alert widget is the second widget. It's the widget with the three circles: triggered, active, and configured. So the first circle, the triggered, is showing alerts that have actively triggered and gone off. The second, active, tells you the total number of alerts that you've got that are actively running. And then lastly, configured are the total number of alerts set up both in inactive and active. So we'll look at the triggered alerts. If you click on the circle, it pops up a list of all the alerts that have actively triggered and gone past the threshold. So the first one you can see is for the pump station, and it's showing that we have a high flow over our alert level of 280 GPM. The little message icon, if you click on it, will pop up and show you what the body of the alert actually was, what the text was. So it'll show you what the alert message was. Then on our active alerts, we'll click that, and it just pulls up a list of all the actively running alerts that you have within your system. And then lastly, configured alerts. This shows all alerts, both active and deactive, and you can see which ones are running and which ones aren't. The last one in this case is not active. So those are the windows around the alerts. Now we can actually look at how to configure one and what the configuration options are. So we'll look at this air temp below 30 degrees. We'll just click on the alert title, and it pops up the configuration options. Here you can see a number of cells, the first one being a name. So you can create whatever name you want for the alert. In this case, we use air temperature below 30 degrees. Then what station is that alert being created by? What field station? Its status, is it active or not? In this case, it's clicked active, so it's actively running. And then what type of measurement? What sensor is this alert coming from? In this case, it's the air temperature sensor. And then threshold type. Are we wanting to get an alert when it goes below a threshold or above? So this is a low temperature alert, so we're going for the lower threshold. Next window allows you to just enter in a value. So if you have consistent values that you use for frost temperatures, you may have that same value, you can just type it in. You can also choose to click use current bounds. So if you've set boundaries up for that sensor, say it was a soil moisture sensor, it would just pull from the boundaries that you've already configured. So you don't have to go look and pull that across. It would just pull it across for you. Then we have a quiet period start. This is a great feature. This allows you to set a period of time that you do not want to receive the alert for. Again, in the case of frost alerting, you only want to receive the frost alerts during the months or days that you have issues with frost protection. Outside of that time, you don't want to receive the alert. You don't want to get a low temperature alert in the month of December because you're not at frost risk then. So you can set a period of months with a start date and an end date that during that period you won't get the alert. So you don't have to remember to go make it active or deactivate the alert, it just does it automatically. Below that is our maximum allowed change. To explain what that is, it's common to occasionally get a data spike where it's just a rogue reading. So maybe you go from a value of 20 to 900. That's not really a real reading, it's a rogue data spike. This allows you to filter that out. So in the case of temperature readings, you may pick 10 as I don't expect to see my temperature ever change more than 10 degrees in the 15-minute period that between readings. So if it goes beyond a 10-degree change, I'm going to view that as a rogue data point. I'm going to ignore it. So you can set a value here that you just don't want to see an alert for. The reading delay alarm is a feature that lets you set up and get an alert if there's been a delay in receiving readings. So if you have a station that you're using, again, we'll use the example of frost temperatures. It's very mission critical. You want to get a reading every 15 minutes. if there's a problem with the station communicating and it's not sending out data every 15 minutes, you can receive an alert to say the station's not reporting. You want to know that station's not reporting. So this doesn't involve, that station could be down. You're still going to get this alert. So if our server doesn't receive data during that time period, it's going to send you an alert saying there could be a problem in your station. Maybe the battery's dead or something you want to know. So you can set that up. Then the next window is for recipients. Who's going to receive this alert? So this list is pre-populated with all your users that have access to your account. So you can just choose a user, select what type of alert you want them to receive. If you select voice, it lets you add in another phone number. So maybe they have their mobile number built into the system, but they want to receive a phone call on their house phone that will wake them up for a frost alert. So you can set up an additional phone number to get that voice alert. So you can choose that. If you want to add a new recipient, you can just add a new contact and fill out the data here. And you can actually add anybody to receive alerts. They don't have to be users on the software application. They don't have to have a login to get alerts. This is a great feature if you have employees that you don't want them necessarily to have logins to the software, but you still want them to get alerts. Again, Frost, great thing for Frost. You may have seasonal employees that you want them to get Frost alerts, but other than that, they don't need access, so you can add them here. And then the last window lets you create custom text for that alert. So we set up default. This is showing what the default alert will go out as. You can see the preview below. But you can actually add text to this. So you may want to add, if you receive this alert, start pump at site A or open valve. So you can add additional text to alert. So when they receive the alert, they've got some instructions what to do if they receive those alerts. So this is a great feature for just to bring more knowledge to what that alert is and communicate some things. So those are your basic windows. You also see the little help icons. If you hover over one of these question marks, it tells you what that is. So we try to provide help within the application. So if you've got a question about a feature, you know what it is. So those are how to configure the options available to configure alerts. Very simple.